Hello investors, welcome to my channel FinTech Affairs. Here I will serve the knowledge about stock trading. Myself Neeraj Nimje, a chartered accountant and your host for this channel. For a new investors, it becomes very challenging work to select a stock for investment. Various criteria you have to select and you have to make combination of two or more criteria for better result in selection process. Today I will discuss one of the criteria, that is price to earning ratio. In short, it is termed as PE ratio. Why it is calculated, how does it help us in selection process, all this we will discuss here. The basic principle of investment is buy at low and sell at high. So we should buy company stock when it is undervalued and sell it when it becomes overvalued. But how do we know whether current value of the company's share price is either overvalued or undervalued? Well, the PE ratio, that is price to earning ratio, help us to some extent. There are more ratios like trailing PE, forward PE, PEG. Step by step I will discuss all these ratios in my subsequent videos. In price to earning ratio, price refers to the current market price or the LTP, that is last traded price of company share. And E refers to the earning per share, that means how much profit is company generating per share. Let's take an example to understand this better. Here we have a company called XYZ company that generates annual profit after tax of rupees 20 lakhs. Company is listed on stock market and the current share price of this company is 200. And there are total 2 lakh number of shares of this company. So let's calculate the PE for this company. P part is very easy. Its last traded price, that is rupees 200. This will be our P. Now E part, that is earning per share, is that something we have to calculate. It's very simple ratio. Annual profit after tax divided by total number of shares. So the earning per share would be rupees 20 lakhs divided by 2 lakh number of shares. We get earning per share of rupees 10. Now calculating P is very easy. That is rupees 200 divided by earning per share of rupees 10. So the PE of this company is rupees 20. What does it actually indicates? It indicates that to earn annual profit of rupee 1, you have to invest rupees 20 in this company. Now most of the investor might be wondering how to calculate P for every company. There are n number of companies in stock exchange. Friends, don't worry about it. You can find out it easily on various websites called Money Control, investing.com, Zerodha, tickertape.com. So PE data is readily available on these websites. Now just ask yourself a very basic question. If XYZ company is generating annual profit after tax of rupees 20 lakhs and the market value of this company is how much? 2 lakh number of shares multiplied by current market price per share is rupees 200, it comes to rupees 4 crores. Whereas it means that market value of this company is 4 crores, whereas the actual book price of share or the actual book value of this company may be less than its market value if you refer its financial statements. This is the real situation in most of the companies. Here investor is getting return of only 5%. Well, this is something you need to understand very clearly. Why investors are paying more than the book value or its intrinsic value. Take another example. Just imagine two MBA candidates, one from a good MBA college, other one from IIM Bangalore. Both of them are at the same knowledge and skill level. What do you think, who will get higher salary during placement? Obviously, in my opinion, the IIM Bangalore candidate will get higher salary. The question arises why? Should we argue that if the knowledge level of both the candidate is exactly same, they should get paid exactly the same? Here it all depends on the expectations and the confidence level of their recruiting agency about the future abilities of these candidates. And hence, as the second candidate is coming from IIM Bangalore, the expectations are higher with him, and hence the company is willing to pay him higher salary. In the same way, some company commands higher P ratio as compared to others because the investors have higher expectations and confidence in the company's business model, their management ability, and their competitive edge. So higher the P ratio of a company, higher is the investors' expectations about the growth of the company. Now question arises, what is the ideal PE? It is the frustrating part for the most of the new investors. They look for a typical P above which they would know that the company is overvalued, below which the company is undervalued. But in reality, the problem is that P for a company range from as low to 1 to several hundreds and on the way to several thousands. There is nothing like an ideal P or typical P. So another better approach for benchmarking the P would be to look at the industry P. Let's say for a steel industry, current P for this industry, steel industry is 23. A company with a lower P than industry P can be potentially, but not necessarily, is an undervalued company. And similarly, the company that have P higher than industry P, we can say that it is potentially an overvalued company. But remember, don't keep looking at the absolute P numbers. Say that okay, anything above 23 is overvalued and anything below 23 is undervalued. You need to analyze the P in the context of industry. Why it is overvalued, why it is undervalued, whether it is profitable to make a deal even in overvalued stock, and all that. You have to assess yourself. Now at this point, a lot of investors ask, how do I really know whether company is undervalued or overvalued? Well, I can say that reading the P ratio, doing its assessment is an art, and you get perfection in it with the continuous practice. So for now, here are some points that you have to keep in mind. First one is, generally speaking, higher the P ratio relative to the industry P, higher is the chances that it is overvalued. Second one is, lower P doesn't necessarily mean that company is undervalued. You never go ahead and buy a stock just because it has a lower P. See what happens. If stock is trading at lower PE, there might be reason that why the investors are not confident about the future growth prospect of the company. So buying a stock which is lower than industry PE is not always a profit making deal. Third one is, as an investor, we should not be looking for cheap stock. We should be looking for great stock with a competitive and bargain price. Last and fourth point is that the P ratio, P that should not be seen in isolation. We need to take it as an input along with other criteria for stock selection. So I hope this video has given you introduction about PE, but there are more aspects to PE which I will be covering in my subsequent videos. Probably that will be on trailing P, forward P, and PEG. We will also do comparative analysis of industry P, and above all, we also look at the market P. So there is lot more to learn about PE. Stay tuned for more videos on this topic. Don't forget to subscribe my channel and press bell icon to get all notifications. With this, your host Neeraj Nimje, Chartered Accountant, signing off for now. See you soon. Have a nice day.